positing. Now, if we want to go off of your definition, and I'm going to regurgitate this again, you fucking retard, that your example, which is if someone believes X to be true and X is true, which is what you've said verbatim, it's going to be an example of something that is fallacious. It's not going to correspond to back what was said within the video, which you gave no argument for, which I said wasn't said within the video, and that's not going to constitute a doxastic justification being fallacious or an example of that. So you're giving no motivation for that. You fucking suck.
Number one, you're retarded. Number two, you failed to address my points and not explain how you failed to address my points and show why you're retarded. So it's funny how he's speaking over me and he's not gonna. Okay, got you. Good. So anyway, just to respond to the numerous non-points he has made. Okay, we're just gonna start off the fact, which is that he failed to address what I mean by the justification. He is not even engaged with what I mean. Now he's trying to go back to the recording. We're specifically talking about you criticized the claim I have made. You said I committed a blunder just in virtue of me making the assertion that doxastic justification is fallacious. Now, we've gotten clear on what I mean by doxastic justification, and considering that the recorded bot just keeps on getting kicked out and someone just started recording with OBS, I'm going to repeat it for the recording. What I mean by doxastic justification is just justification which is indexed to someone believing something, just someone's mere belief attitudes. So just to clarify, something is not justified just merely because one person believes in it or a numerous amount of people believes in it. It is justified in virtue of something which is called evidence, which is actually something which is independent of one's own belief attitudes or theses on the matter. That's what I mean by doxastic justification. Now, he agreed, at least I hope he's not retarded enough to disagree with this, but he agreed that an appeal to belief fallacy is a fallacy. He said this. He literally classified it as a fallacy. So clearly he believes that an appeal to consensus is a fallacious type of reasoning. He also agrees that it is the case. At least I hope he agrees with this because he can be this retarded, right? He agrees that if I believe a view to be true, that's not evidence for a view being true. And therefore it would actually extrapolate, or rather it would entail that being a fallacious type of reasoning. He agrees that these two things, which are the sufficient qualifiers and the necessary qualifiers for something to be doxastic justification, he agrees that this specifically is fallacious. And so if he agrees that these two examples are these two ideas of what doxastic justification is, which are the only two ideas baked into my semantics of doxastic justification, if he agrees that these two ideas are fallacious types of reasoning, then you'd have to agree that necessarily speaking, it is the case that doxastic justification, given the way I'm using the term, not the way in which he's using the term, because you're talking about my claim, not his claim, it would be true. He'd have to agree that my claim is true. That's it, right? If I say, for example, that God exists, right? And by God, I'm referring to an omnipotent, omniscient being who has the ability to manipulate laws of the universe, right? If I say that being exists, and you say, well, oh, God does not exist because what I mean by God is a unicorn, and unicorn do not exist, so God does not exist. That's not addressing the person's claim because you're actually failing at one of the main standards of any sort of dialectic or communication whatsoever, and it's actually language interface. That is just to say that you have to engage with what the person means. This is one of the fundamental concepts, like it's called like Bryce's razor. You attack what the person actually means by a term, okay? So you have to engage with what I mean by a term before you make any sort of agreement or disagreement with my claim. And what I mean by doxastic justification is the definition I've just laid out a couple moments ago and the examples I've given for the definition. So do you disagree with those examples being fallacious, or do you agree with those examples being fallacious? And if you agree, then that means you can see this debate, you dumb retard. Now you can mute me. I'm done speaking.
Yo, Secret, bro, turn that shit down. Yo, Mr. Pig, chill out, bro. We don't say those words in this house, nigga.
Please, I want to hear his dumb response. Unmute him. God damn it. What's with this trash mic? You know what's funny? If you debate in my server, you get unmuted immediately.
Yo, Secret, bro, you better turn that shit off before I fucking bitch you, nigga.
This is crash moderation. So this is what happens to you right now.
Finally. Oh my god. Finally. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ himself. So, Apollo, nothing you said really contends to any of my points, because as I clarified again, my position is that I didn't concede within my semantics. Now, when we're talking about concession, I'm not sure, like, you like to say concession a lot, you like to spam the term concession, but a concession is that I think that's granted, and then it's conceded. So if I hold the proposition that Apollo's like sucking my fucking fat fucking dick right now, and then I later contradict that and say, no, it's not the case. What is that? He's not the case, he's doing that. Now I'll be conceding that initial proposition. Now, if you go back to my paragraph about to appeal the belief fallacy, and given your examples, for example, if someone says that, if someone believes X to be true and X is true, then it's fallacious. That's one of your examples on recording. That is fallacious. Now, what's in question right now is whether or not Tron, within his linguistics, within the recording, because this was in response to the recording, how you blundered, is going to fulfill that means of type of doxastic justification would constitute something being fallacious within nature, which you give no argument for. And I said, and I'm going to regurgitate this again, that's what was put into question within the fucking video, which you actually failed to justify as you're getting raped. Verbatim. And I'm going to ping everyone within the chat. So he's not negating any proposition that I'm making right now. And I'm saying that he asked for a doxastic justification for a given proposition, that then he responded saying the doxastic justification fallacious. Now, what was in question is how the proposition within the recording is going to be fallacious to even give some type of motivation to believe his argument. Now, if it's just the case that, given his examples of a doxastic justification being fallacious or an appeal to belief, those can map onto what he's saying, but whether or not what he's saying is going to correspond to what was the argument within the video is what I was putting into question within the chat. If we're going off merely based on what was said in the chat, you can read this, what I said here, and that's what was in question. So nothing he's saying really negates the proposition. We can agree to the definition, but it's not gonna tell the concession on my end, because the given example of a doxastic justification not being fallacious is not going to correspond to what you're saying within the recording and within this dialogue. And the given example I gave, which you never addressed at all, is going to be if someone asks why you justified in believing all men are mortal, and I give a syllogism, and the syllogism is going to tell, well, all men that don't have long lives is going to be the case that they're not immortal by virtue of someone being immortal is going to have an endless life, or some shitty example like that. That could be an example of a doxastic justification, which is not going to be something that is an appeal to belief, which is something that is fallacious by definition. So your whole entire analogy and examples, which consists of the belief proposition, what was putting into question was whether or not that actually occurred within the video. You gave no evidence for that. So that's that point. For your initial point, I never held the proposition that it's going to be the case that a doxastic justification is not going to be, or consists or corresponds back to, like, mental states or mental belief that someone holds or holds. It's pretty simple. Like, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, you can stop talking now. You're stuttering. You can stop talking now.
Okay, so,
my
well,
turn.
hold on. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. You can shut the fuck
Not
up
done
like
stuttering.
a bitch.
Go for it.
Yeah, so, anyways, nothing you said negates my proposition, so I just believe that you're just getting lapsed in this argument.
So you said you're not done it just to say nothing you say negates. Relax. really? That added no substance to anything you've said previously. So
yeah, can we conclude? Because I don't think you're.
So,
like,
stop talking now, lapdog. Hush, lapdog. Hush, lapdog.
Please, daddy, please. Can we conclude, daddy? Please, please, daddy. Main character Apollo, please. Main character Apollo, you're so good that you're failing to track the main argument that we're making for the past 20 minutes. You're so good.
Your dad is speaking. Have manners. Have manners. Have manners. Pipe down, bitch. So, it's my turn. Perfect. So, is he going to get muted? He's going to keep on speaking. He's going to get muted? No? No mute?
Go ahead.
Okay, shut up. So anyways, just to respond to the points he's made, okay? So he failed to respond to the points I've made really and truly respected anyways. What I've said specifically is that doxastic justification, given my definition, is going to obviously be something which is fallacious. You said specifically that I blundered by saying that this thing is fallacious, and by this thing, this would be what I mean by this thing, which is obviously believe in something to be true is an evidence for that being true. So if I say, oh, I believe God exists, therefore it follows from me believing that God exists, that's fallacious. Or if I say, oh, the majority of people believes that God exists, therefore God exists, that's also fallacious, okay? So that's my point, okay? So regarding that specifically, these examples perfectly reflects what I mean and my understanding and conception of doxastic justification. And these examples are reflective of fallacious types of reasoning. So obviously, given my conceptual analysis, it would be the case that doxastic justification is fallacious, and that's a true, correct claim. Now, you can't be criticizing that claim if you agree that that's what I mean by doxastic justification. It could be the case that on the recording you're talking about, which you'd have to prove, by the way, it could be the case that Tron never committed doxastic justification, given what I mean by doxastic justification. But the thing we're talking about here in this is you criticizing the claim that doxastic justification is fallacious, which it actually is by definition, given how I'm using the term, and given what the majority of people mean by doxastic justification. Now, you have a couple of burdens, by the way, because you've said, for one, that this conversation, this debate we're having, this whole dialogue, this whole dialectic is specifically about you talking about are you either you questioning me about like what was being addressed on the recording. You've never mentioned the recording directly in our conversation in the chat. All you've said is that I committed a blunder by making the claim that doxastic justification is fallacious. You're not specifically talking about the recording. It seems as if you're just criticizing the claim, whether it was on the recording, whether it was independent of the recording context or not. So it doesn't seem to be something which is specifically in reference to the context of the recording. But even if that was to be the case, I want you to prove to me that it is the case that I inaccurately called out the fallacious nature of Tron's argument. I want you to prove that claim. I want you to show me the recorded timestamp which demonstrates that to be true. I want you to show me the recorded timestamp which demonstrates it is the case that given what I meant by doxastic justification on the recording, it would not be fallacious. And if you can't prove any of these claims, then we can just simply dismiss these claims, obviously, because you have no for any claims, and so we would not have any reason for granting these claims to be correct, and you'd automatically look like the dumb fuck you already look like in this debate. You can mic up now, son boy. I give you permission to go for it, pig.
Oh, holy shit. Okay, so I'm finally on server muted. So, yeah, I'm just going to respond to everything real quick. Just let me get the timestamps real quick. So, going back to what Apollo said earlier before we get to that, given his examples of doxastic justifications, now what I said, the initial propositions I said were held in VC, I said given what I said, and this is on recording, which corresponds back to the footage within the paragraph, because if he's initially putting that paragraph into question, which I put in the chat, the whole context around the footage, in which I clarified in the VC, and what I was talking about, is if it is the case that given his examples and his epistemic awareness of what a doxastic justification is, and the pillar belief is, it's going to correspond to what Tron did in the video. And when he made a claim about me claiming that, or quote unquote critiquing him for making a claim that Apollo just said that doxastic justifications are fallacious, I'm actually talking about to clarify it to the entire VC and new people that came to VC, which was said in the recording and the arguments that like progressed within the dialogue with Tron, just to clarify. So yeah, nothing you're saying here is really doing anything, because if we go back to the recording, because you asked for evidence, some motivation for the propositions within the dialogue, if you go at 2800, You made a claim that doxastic justifications are fallacious, and the type of doxastic justification that Tron gave is going to be a syllogism. So I already given an example of a syllogism, which is a doxastic justification, which is not going to be fallacious, and it's going to be the men are mortal example, which I gave. For example, if I have a belief and someone asks me to provide a justification for a said belief, for example, let's say the said belief is all men are mortal. Who is this? Who is this?
A bit late.
Who is this? Like, what's going on?
Another 10.
Continue like dogs. So wasting my
is he
time.
done? Is he done?
Are you done? Continue.
Okay, I'm back. So if I give an example of doxastic justification, which doesn't correspond to his examples and his shitty worldview, let's suppose for the reductive light. Like, let's go over his definition. Let's suppose for his shitty worldview that, which I have written down of what something fallacious is, and it's quote unquote a doxastic justification, which is going to be the type of fallacious doxastic justification. If someone believes X to be true and it's true, then it's fallacious. Apollo affirmed that. So if someone gives an argument, let's say a doxastic justification at the 28-minute mark that I lined up for this nigga to fucking look at as an evidence, if someone gives a syllogism, right, it's not going to be the same as saying if someone believes X to be true, then it's going to be true, which is Apollo's definition of a doxastic justification, which is fallacious. But if you give, obviously, like a deductive argument or like a modest ponens to justify that said belief, it's not going to inherently be fallacious. It's just so simple. So if you go to the 28-minute mark, excuse me there. So everything he's saying right now is just not going to be like a good negation to the proposition I'm making. So the reducto did land.
Are you on PC? Just stream it.
So it's at 28. So I already gave you the mark. I don't feel the need to stream it.
Okay, I'll go on the mark right now. Repost the link real quick.
So it's in the chat. So given your example of a fallacious appeal to belief, which is just gonna be for the chat, because what I was putting into question within the chat, which Apollo was corresponding back to and criticizing, is all in reference to the video. So given his example of a doxastic justification, which is quote unquote fallacious or appeal to belief, I don't believe it's going to correspond back to what was the argument within the video, just to be clear for the entire VC to clarify. Which his example is if someone believes X to be true, and X is true, then it's fallacious. Apollo verbatim said that. So if the given example is just a deductive argument, which is going to be like obviously logically valid, I don't think that's going to be an example that pertains back to his definition of what an appeal to belief is or something that's fallacious. It's pretty simple. And Kim, you can get beat up on this after.
I just checked the timestamp. You absolute embarrassment of a human being. You retard. You monkey. On the 28-minute timestamp, it doesn't even. What did you just do?
Wait, Apollo, you
randomly mention the timestamp. No, you're gonna stop speaking right now. It's my turn to speak. You're gonna stop speaking right now. That's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna speak over you. So anyway, I'm gonna keep on speaking. So anyways, what 28 minutes says is Clorox I think it was Clorox or Tron, whomever it was, said specifically that it is the case that justification or evidence is that which compels someone to believe in something. I said no. What is evidence is not just something which compels or motivates someone to believe something to be true. It's something which demonstrates something being true. Okay, so it's not something which is merely motivational, but it's also both motivational and epistemological. That's what I've said. Now, that does not reference or clarify or make it clear, disambiguate what I've meant by the doxastic justification on the recording. In fact, the timestamp you've referenced has no regards to doxastic justification. It's just us having semantic disputes over what evidence means. So you just failed to track even the recording itself. You just gave a timestamp.
So Apollo, I don't think you're tracking the recording itself because at 28:50,
wait, why are you
he specifically says, you told me why to prove why I think Demon slams you, and I put it into the annotated proof with inferences that guarantees the truth of my conclusion. Now you asked for a motivation to believe a set proposition, and Tron replied, well, I can just give a doxastic justification, which gives me motivation to believe the set proposition being true.
You're peeing your diapers right now, big boy. Look, I'm going to keep on speaking over you because it's my turn. I don't know why you're speaking over me. You got the whole chance to speak. Yeah, good boy. Go on the leash right now. So anyways, as I was saying, yes, the timestamp, which everyone has seen in the chat, 28 minutes. You guys can go on the timestamp yourself, and you guys will be able to confirm alongside me that this guy is a low IQ imbecile. The timestamp does not talk about doxastic justification. It just talks about what me and Clorox mean by evidence, which is Clorox said evidence is that which compels someone to believe something. So he takes evidence to be a motivational type content. I said, no, it's just a motivational type content. It's something which is epistemological insofar as it demonstrates something being true and not just merely motivates a given agent to believe something to be true. That was what I've said. Now, does that talk about doxastic justification, which is what this conversation is about? Absolutely not. It does not talk about doxastic justification. So the timestamp he arbitrarily pulled up to make it seem as if he has evidence for dumb, idiotic, intellectually bankrupt claims he's been making is something which does not even remotely substantiate anything you've said in this debate. So that's just to clear that up. Now, if we're going to get back to my definition of doxastic justification, which I've clarified in the chat and on this recording in voice call in front of everyone who was listening to this conversation, you're getting penetrated in, okay? I said doxastic justification is justification which is indexed to just the mere act of believing something. And I've given two examples of this, right? The example of me saying that it follows from me believing X, then sure, okay? You also misinterpreted what I mean by doxastic justification. I've typed it out also, I'm pretty sure. I think you said something, let me just get the message real quickly. Oh yeah, you said that I affirmed that if someone believes X to be true and it is true, that's fallacious. No one ever said this, right? Someone believing X to be true and X happening to be true is not the same as someone believing X to be true and using that to justify X being true. These are two different things. The first one is just a conjunct of two events occurring, and the second one is a logical correlation between two events, which is the act of believing something and that thing being true. The latter one is an employment of reasoning. The first one is just the occurrence of two independent events. So you're retarded. You failed to track my definition of what doxastic justification is, despite the fact of repeatedly clarified in a concise manner as to what I mean by this, and even was charitable enough to give examples for what I mean. Okay, so how about you start responding to the points and stay on
Alright,
track,
okay, Apollo, I'm back. You're a fucking retard. So, at that time step, at 28, Tron, I believe he's specifically talking about how his burden was to provide a doxastic justification to suffice the belief or the knowledge claim, which you agreed it was a knowledge claim, that you lost to D1. And Electron verbatim said, and I quote, "Is it okay if I give an argument as to why I think or believe, which is a doxastic justification, you lost the debate?" And you said yes. And after Tron gives a deductively valid argument, which guarantees the truth of the conclusion, which he said at 28, you said that is going to be... Drumroll, everyone. Drumroll, guys. Drumroll. And he said that's going to be...
Prove all of those claims.
An appeal to belief. Shut up, bitch. Shut up.
Prove all the claims.
He said that's going to be an appeal to belief.
Prove all the claims.
He's mad because he's getting fucking laps in his life.
I am mad. I'm
said that's
mocking you right now, dog.
And what's his example of appeal to belief, guys? What's his example of appeal to belief, guys? Let's go back. His example of appeal to belief is if someone believes X to be true and X is true, then it's fallacious. That's his example of appeal to belief. So this nigga's a fucking retard. Apollo cannot fucking track. This nigga is garbage. Now, everyone, if you look in the recording, Tron simply says that his doxastic justification is just going to be an inferential or some type of deductively valid argument which guarantees the truth of his conclusion, which the inferential holding necessary within the argument is going to entail the conclusion, which suffices his belief state or some type of motivation given his epistemic awareness of what occurred, because Apollo conceded within the rec that he made a knowledge claim. So he's just giving some type of justification or a doxastic justification for a knowledge claim. And Apollo's burden was to prove how it's fallacious in the recording. And his example of a fallacious doxastic justification is just if someone believes X to be true and X is true, that's fallacious. There we go. That's his example of what a fallacious doxastic justification is, given his linguistics. And he's telling me to prove that claim. I already proved it, you fucking moron piece of shit. If you go back to the recording, Tron verbatim gives an argument and telling why or sufficing his burden or his motivation given his epistemic awareness of the knowledge claim that he's justifying. And that justification is just going to be the inference rule or the deductively valid argument which guarantees the truth of his conclusion within the recording that he was given. your only response is that this is fallacious. You give no justification as to why the inference rule or the argument you provided is fallacious, and what you said is fallacious is going to be appeal to belief. Your definition of appeal to belief is just going to be the example that you gave, which I keep quoting. If someone believes X to be true and X is true, that's fallacious. So, given the inference rule that Tron made within the argument, within the recording, how is that definition of something being fallacious, which you made, is going to correspond back to the to the deductive argument that Tron made in the video, which was what was put into question the entire time, because what I was putting into question within the paragraph in my chat for everyone to fucking see and look at how you got lapsed in this fucking debate, lapsed in this argumentation, is how that definition of and that example you given is what Tron did. So that gives me motivation to believe my position to be more true than yours. You're just fucking ass. You can't. Like. So if let's go. I'm gonna go on screen share. I'm not done.
Yeah,
I'm not
now
done.
that you're done speaking,
you can go
go
off
on
mute.
mute,
You can go
retard.
off
So
mute.
it's
I'm
my
not
turn
done.
to speak now.
I'm not done. I'm not
You're
done.
not done.
I'm
What
not
is it
done.
gonna yap about, retard?
I'm not done, Apollo. I'm not done. I'm gonna screen share. I'm actually gonna screen share. So yeah, thank you. Whoever muted this dumb piece of shit, you're going to heaven. You're going to heaven. God, this nigga's an eyesore. So let's look at my screen share for this fucking dumb retard. Let's look at this screen share for this dumb retard. Right. So did you guys hear that? Hold on. Let me run it back for everyone in the VC, because this is the evidence. Given the data. Let's see what this nigga Tron says when he's fucking raping this nigga. Let's see what he says. So notice how he says, right? Notice how he says, you told me to prove why I think. So think it's a belief. We both agree with this. It's a type of belief or rationale or some type of justification. The justification I said, if you go back in the rec over here, I said, are you going to be fine with a logical argument as to why I believe X is the case? And he affirmed that he's fine with it, which is the DOS hash justification point. All he replied to, his only response on the recording, right here. Right, hold on. Whole lot of yap, hold on. Whole lot of fucking yap. I apologize. And now my internet shit.
Oh, y'all retards.
I'm trying to go to the point of the burden because he told me to prove that he put that burden on me.
Burden of no job.
Yo, Mr. Pig, let me know when you're done so Apollo can.
Alright, everyone has to look at. Yeah, I'm
Do
trying to show the least.
Question. I'm asking you, are you fine with a logical annotated argumentation, which is deductively valid, as to why I think that D1 posed?
So did everyone see that? So let's repeat it again. Let's see if. I'm gonna repeat that for the VC. Go ahead.
That D1 posed. You can't pronounce the word deductive, by the way. So deductive. Yeah, I'm asking. Yes or no. It's yes or no. I'm asking you, not because you're just conflating my question. I'm asking you, are you fine with a logical annotated argumentation, which is deductively valid, as to why I think that D1 posed?
So Tron's burden within the recording is: are you fine with a deductively valid annotated argument as to why I hold the belief or think that D1 beat Apollo? That is what Tron said verbatim, and that's what I'm saying is the DOS hash justification. Now let's go to Apollo's response. Everyone, please remember Apollo's quote-unquote definition of an appeal to belief, which is what he's claiming is fallacious. Let's see if Tron does this. Let's see if Tron says if someone believes X to be true and X is true, then it's fallacious. Because that is what Apollo said verbatim on the recording, is what a fucking quote-unquote appeal to belief is, which makes the DOS hash justification fallacious. Let's see if he says that.
Do not use words like you're not. It's a yes or no question. Okay, yes. Okay. So P1. Well, I can do it for server immediately. Here, I'll objectively. Since you can't do it, but you're.
Trying to do all Chinese that real quick.
I want you guys to take closely give
Follow, are you gonna respond to what I said, bro? Are you gonna respond to what I said? He's not responding at all. He's not addressing what you're saying. Oh, are you gonna answer that question? Oh, well, even if he doesn't like it, I'll still fulfill my burden that he set onto me. So, anyways, premise number one. So I fulfill my burden, nigga. So yeah, I fulfill. Yeah, so I fulfill my burden, nigga. It's epistemological. It's a logical proof in itself. Why would I necessarily need to correspond to evidence? No logical proof in itself is evidence as to why I think that proposition will be true, right?
So Tron again says a logical argument or an epistemic evidence in regards to epistemology could be some motivation for a given proposition and believing in it's true. And Paulo doesn't respond to this either.
This guy just saying words.
So his only response is, this guy is saying words.
I literally asked you. A logical proof. Within my doxastic justification as to why I think that D1 slammed you.
So notice how Tron here says that's a logical proof within his doxastic justification. So Tron affirms that he made a doxastic justification, and the doxastic justification in question is just gonna be a deductive argument. So Apollo, now that I fucking now let's go to the appeal to belief part. Okay, let's go to the fallacious part. Let's go to that part. So I fulfilled 3 burdens so far. Let's go to King Apollo's response, guys. The best debater in the com. Let's go to his response, guys.
You had no contentions with that, and then I really affirmed on it anyways, which is fulfilling my burden of proof. You told me to prove why I think D1 slammed you, and I gave you proof as to why I think that D1 slammed you. Which was until a doxastic justification. Oh, okay. So again, not track, right? I'll click is because P1 winning implementation. I think that D1 slammed you, which is a logical proof in itself. And you told me to provide proof, which is the burden of fulfilling my burden.
Firstly, I clarified if you want to use your
Clarified.
all defeated are successful by people in FL. What are you talking
Okay, well, wait, another fallacy is a missing point. That's not attacking my deduction
The
either.
question would not be full in FL.
Okay, well, wait, what are you questioning? Like, is it relevant to my deduction?
An error in the reasoning.
A question fits if instead of refutancy to the argumentation, you dumb advocate. So yes, questions can you compels the mind to accept an assertion as true, right? Which I gave you is deductive reasoning with inferences with logical proof, which I literally just affirmed to you multiple times, which would be sound argument. Nothing wrong with the argumentation, which I prove.
Which compels somebody.
Oh my God, this nigga cannot try.
I'm asking for
No, you
something.
didn't, nigga. No, you did this multiple times on recording, by the way. Don't backtrack. You did it with no reasoning as to why you would. Why would you?
Wait,
Let's justification. Answer that Yeah,
Why would I
exactly.
do that? Because you made the claim which I believe is a knowledge claim.
You believe is.
Oh, you guys just.
Oh, okay.
You guys are
That's a concession. That's a concession, right? Okay.
So I'm trying to find a part where my burden right now that I'm trying to fulfill right now, because this is a long ass recording. Is I have to find a part where he says doxastic justification, or what I'm saying is a doxastic justification, which Apollo said that Tron said is incorrect. But even so far, he's not responding to anything.
So if you're complaining, okay, that's a concession. Let me explain why. So if you're claiming that a doxastic justification is fallacious, and doxastic justification is contingent on knowledge, by conditioning, then the VC can all guess by now where this is going. By conditioning, what he's initially affirming would be fallacious by his own words. Like, and by the way, doxastic justification is not fallacious. He told me to prove why I think D1, quote unquote, why I think D1 is right, and I provided a logical proof is fallacious.
Okay, so Mr. Pig, your time is done. Just go on mute.
All right, there we go. So yeah, Apollo indirect.
No, go on mute right now. Go on mute.
Hold on, I'm not
Go on
done.
mute. Your time is done. Your time is done.
What time?
Your time is done. Your time is
Apollo,
done.
you're scared.
Traps.
I don't have no time. I don't have no time.
My turn to speak. So anyway, someone mute him, please. Thank you. He has been speaking for way too long. He has
Worse,
had
mute this.
several
Hold on, bro.
rounds of minutes to actually prove his claim. He has failed To prove his
What the
claim, you're an
hell?
embarrassment to human society.
Worse,
so much
worse,
to prove my
worse,
claim now.
worse.
So to respond to
Mute
the
this nigga.
argument that you've
Mute
given,
this nigga.
you started off by
What
going
points am
to
I
a specific
failing?
part in the recording where you said that I asked him
points?
to prove why he thinks something to be true, and you say that's the justification.
No,
No,
he
it
said that's
isn't.
the
Someone
doxastic
asked him
justification.
why you think something to
If he
be
gives
true,
rationale
and then
for a belief, that's
demonstrating
the doxastic
reason
justification.
why they believe something is not doxastic justification, right? It is simply going to be the type of thing which is not going to be indexed to a belief. So how is it going to be the case that something
you
is not
retarded?
indexed? A justification which
It's
is not
it is
indexed
indexed to a
to
belief,
one's
you
belief
retard. If
attitude.
someone
Why is he
says, if
speaking
someone
over me?
makes a
Why is he
proposition
still
that,
speaking?
can I
Why
give
is
you
he
logical
still
proof as to
speaking?
why I
It's not
believe
your
X is
turn
the
to
case?
speak,
That's a belief
It's
claim.
not
That's
your
making
turn
an
to speak,
epistemic
sonny
claim.
boy.
So if I say,
Stop
or if
speaking.
Tron in this case
Your
says that
dad
is
is
what the
still
doxastic
speaking. Don't let me
justification
get the
is,
belt.
and he provides a
Stop getting
justification
rude
for
with
that,
me.
that's just going to be a
Stop getting rude with me, son. Stop getting rude with me, okay? Don't let me get the belt on you, okay? So it's my turn to speak. Yeah, good boy. Get muted. Anyway, now to continue with my point, okay? The first part of the recording you went to, and by the way, you specifically mentioned 28-minute time span, 2800 as the timestamp for the claim that you were saying regarding the doxastic justification. Just for you to literally go on stream and struggle to find the actual recording or the part where I mentioned the doxastic justification, which is clearly emblematic of you not even knowing which part of the recording you've been talking about. You're just making up arbitrary timestamps without even checking jack shit because you can't even prove the claim. And not to mention, I've gotten people in the chat to check that same timestamp, and we have all collectively and hands on the point, which is that we can't even find what you're talking about. So you just made this shit up completely. Yes, I did mention doxastic justification, but we want the evidence for me defining doxastic justification in the specific way you said I delineated or described it, right? We want evidence for that claim. Now, to move on to a different proposition, you said that doxastic justification is given a reason for why someone believes something. Like if I ask you to prove why you think this, then you given a reason why you believe something is doxastic justification. Well, actually, you dumb low IQ moron, you dunderhead. No, it isn't. You autist, right? Doxastic justification isn't just given a mere motivation for why you believe something. Okay, when in debate and circumstances, I know you're really socially crippled, so you might not understand this. But in debate and circumstances and context, when you have these rhetorical situations, when someone asks, "Why do you think this to be true?" or "Why is this true?" they're not asking you for a causal explanation for why you believe something. They're asking for evidence for the belief you have. You dumb retard. Okay, so that's like really trivial right there. It's like pretty obvious that what you're saying right there was a huge blunder. So that's not even doxastic justification, just given how I define it and given how it is general conventional and it's scholastically defined when you use this terminology. And you also mentioned that I did not respond to anything. He did not say something worth responding to, dog. If the claims he's making is not my own position, current position, it's just in agreement or it's compatible with my position, it is not the type of thing which is worth responding to or addressing or defeating. So you have to prove that the types of claims or arguments or propositions he has laid out, which I did not give any sort of argumentative attack towards, is worth attacking. You would have to prove this because this is a presupposition of your argument, because you're saying that I lost this point in virtue of me not attacking this. But you'd have to prove, number one, that this is a point being disagreed upon, which would actually be the type of thing which would motivate me into being into finding it worthy of attacking. You'd have to prove that first and foremost. And secondly, you'd have to prove that it is the case that it has an impact on my position or it attacks my position before you even try to make the extrapolation that me not attacking this specific point Clorox has made is something which actually makes me lose for the debate itself. So yeah, you haven't shown the timestamp, you haven't shown anyone in the voice call, the stream or the clip or the recording of my definition of doxastic justification and how your idea of my definition corresponds with the occurrence of the recording, and you have not proven how I've lost the point, and you have not proven how it is the case that given my definition, it is not a fallacious content, argumentatively speaking. So you just failed on every end whatsoever, on every facet of this debate whatsoever, on the rhetoric, on the substance, and so forth, proving your own claims, and on all.
Alright, fine. finally, thank you for the yap. Thank you for the fucking yap. So first off, that last claim you made is just false. We're actually going off of what your definition of doxastic justification, and that being an appeal to belief fallacy, is going to correspond to what is the case within the fucking footage. Not that I'm justifying, given your linguistics, during the fucking dialogue. That's not my fucking burden, you fucking retarded piece of shit. Now, if you actually weren't committing an invincible ignorance, I actually showed 3 timestamps on recording, and you can deny it all you want. The first timestamp is you agreeing verbatim and saying, yes, Tron can give a doxastic justification as to why he believes said proposition is true. Now, if we go back to your definition now of what a doxastic justification is, and distinguish that from a fallacious appeal to belief, which you said is also a type of doxastic justification, it's just a given justification for a belief or said proposition or a mental state or something epistemic. In my definition as well, it's just going to be what you conceded to earlier. So if you're going to grant that, then it's just going to be the case that what Tron did within the footage is just going to be doxastic justification, you fucking retarded piece of shit moron. And you didn't respond to the point earlier about a type of doxastic justification or what constitutes a doxastic justification, because I told you a doxastic justification is just going to be some rationale for a given proposition. Now, you didn't say to prove this is true as in it corresponds to reality, or why is this argument, or why is this claim true, but you agreed to the burden within Tron, what Tron made within the recording, is that I can give you some sort of logical proof as to why I believe this proposition being the case. Not that he has the burden to prove it is the case as in it corresponds to reality. And Tron made the argument, actually, that proof is just going to be indexed to some sort of type of argument. It could just be indexed into some sort of type of argument. But that's besides the main point here. The main point is we're going off of your definition now and how that which is fallacious, which is, if I fucking reread it again to the entire fucking VC, is the case that Tron committed that type of appeal to belief, which is if someone believes X to be true and X is true, because that's my main burden that I currently have on me. So nowhere in the footage, Tron commits that. But finally, if you can stop unmuting this nigga while I go to the part where he says it's fallacious, because it's a long ass footage, I'd be so thankful if you can just not unmute this fucking spurged retard worse. So you can mute TKA again. If I'm just gonna fulfill my last burden, where Apollo claims that it's a quote-unquote fallacious argument, without even justifying why it's a fallacious argument. So, going back to the fucking recording. Please mute this nigga.
Yeah,
Why would I
exactly.
do that? Because I made the claim which I believe is the
Why?
running away to. It shouldn't be a
It would be false.
No.
evidence suggesting to you. This is all.
It's an evidence or argumentation that can. We'll have to.
Found evidence. If I do something, you're asking for a justification of the evidence for what seems true. Then you'll ask
Okay.
for
No. Okay. So why I think something? Okay. So why can't a logical proof in itself, which guarantees the truth of my conclusion, be a valid reasoning or proof in itself as to why that would be the case? Why wouldn't it, you dumbass nigga? Do I have to? You're asking for proof, you dumbass nigga, and I'm literally elucidating on why my.
You
said what?
You understand the sound evidence is saying valid evidence.
Hold on. You asked me for proof, right?
You're not even trying to do.
So what is the proof? That should be followed. There's nothing wrong with that argument. This nigga cannot, bro.
In this case, I'm asking
Go
for
ahead.
proof or evidence for a position to be
Proof?
true. I'm asking for
No, you
something.
didn't, nigga. No, you didn't. You said, go back. You told me to prove why I think B1 slammed you, dumbass nigga, and I think you dumbass.
Wait.
Running away to. It shouldn't be a
Reason as to why you would, as to why,
running away to. It shouldn't be a
No. Hold on. Saying that Doc says the justification is fallacious.
But if it's
No. Hold on. Wait. That's not true. The only thing he had to say in refutation of that was saying that Doc says the justification is fallacious.
But if it's the only thing I can say in
Hold on. If it was a fallacious Apollo, why were you asking him to doxastically prove why
asking
he
you for
thinks
evidence.
this is the case, right? Why would you do that?
exactly.
Answer that
Yeah,
question.
Why would I
exactly.
do that? Because I made the claim which I believe is a knowledge point.
So, everyone on the recording, did you see that? So I'm gonna run that back. Apollo verbatim agreed to what Clorox said. He agreed in the recording. Hold on. I'm gonna run that back. He agreed that he
Hey,
said
why
the
do
dots has to
take Apollo seriously? Like he loses like most of his debates. Like,
He's
come
so
on.
ass. No.
Hey, bro.
Everyone, I'm gonna run that back. Look, listen.
Why would you do that?
Exactly.
Answer that
Yeah,
question.
Why would I
exactly.
do that? Because you made the claim which I believe is
This is ultimate that it was saying that Doc says.
As to why
running away, dude.
Well, everyone listen.
No, hold on, wait. That's not true. The only thing he had to say in refutation of that was saying that Doc says the justification was fallacious.
But if it's the only thing I have to say,
Hold on. If it was a fallacious Apollo, why were you asking him to doxastically prove why he thinks this is the case, right? Why would you do that?
exactly.
Answer that
Yeah,
question.
why would I
exactly.
do that?
He's retarded.
But
Mr.
everyone,
Pig, you just failed
did
the
you catch that
track.
concession? Did you catch
Holy
that
shit.
concession? Wait, me and him.
On
wait,
the
Worse,
recording,
me and him,
now
I'm
it's
not
my
done,
turn to speak.
Wait,
Now it's my
Worse,
turn to
me and
speak
him.
now.
Me and
You
him,
were
I'm not
spoken the
done. I'm not
entire
done.
time.
I just showed the
You were
claim.
spoken the entire
I just showed the
time.
claim. Worse, mute
So I'm going to
Apollo.
respond to the
Mute
timestamp
Apollo.
plus your claims
Mute
previously.
Apollo.
What? Yes, you're trying to get muted, dumb fuck. What do you mean mute Apollo? Now, you should have agreed to them supposedly saying, why did you agree? Or why did you ask for doxastic justification? Literally, while he was speaking, I said, I'm requesting for evidence or justification. That's what I've said while he was asking the question. So when I said, yes, I'm asking for this because he made a knowledge claim, I specifically responded to him under the presumption that he's going under what I said, which is specifically me saying, while he was speaking, by the way, that I'm requesting for evidence. And on the same recording, 28 minutes, by the way, the timestamp you posted, 28 minutes and 5 seconds, I said evidence is the type of thing which demonstrates something being true. That's what I've defined evidence to be. So I defined doxastic justification not in virtue of what I defined evidence to be. I defined it differently. You have not shown my definition of doxastic justification. You have yet to show my definition. You said my definition of doxastic justification. Okay? You said my definition is simply the justification for a belief. Now, I want you to get the timestamp of me saying I defined doxastic justification as justification for a belief instead of me saying I defined doxastic justification as the type of justification which is utilizing one believing something to be true as evidence for that being true. That's what we are requesting the evidence for. And again, just to clarify again, you're misrepresenting the whole idea of me saying yes. I'm asking you this because I'm asking for evidence. I want to know, or rather, you're making a knowledge claim. I was specifically talking about me asking for evidence because while he was literally speaking, I said I'm requesting for evidence, which is not the same thing as the doxastic justification, given how I defined it on this recording and outside of this recording. So again, I want the evidence for claim. I defined the doxastic justification in the manner that you have presented in this debate. Now, going to the timestamp would be defining just doxastic justification in that manner.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have beaten Apollo. This nigga's a fucking retard. So, none of the burdens, I don't see any justification as to why those burdens are on me in the first place. Because this dumbass nigga Apollo, what I was initially putting into question, guys, is whether or not his appeal to belief, which he says, I'm gonna have to regurgitate this every fucking time because he likes to backtrack on his point. His definition of appeal to belief, which is supposedly what constitutes a fallacious doxastic justification, is if someone believes X to be true and X is fallacious. That's what Apollo affirmed. Now, if you go in the fucking recording, I don't have to show that he used some type of definition of whatever the fuck, because that's not my burden. My burden is to see, well, the burden right now is on Apollo to show why that definition of a fallacious argument is going to correspond back to the footage. Now, notice how Apollo right here, he affirms that what Tron made was a knowledge claim, and he was justifying it with knowledge. And even earlier in the recording, which I showed, Tron verbatim said, quote unquote, are you fine with a logical proof as to why I believe X is the case? Not that it is true, but even then, if we want to go on this sub-point tangent that Apollo made about quote unquote evidence, Tron literally said that proof can be an evidence or argument within the doxastic justification could be evidence to support something or accept an assertion as true or convince the mind that an assertion is true. Now, an example of this is very, 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 very fucking simple. So let's look at the definition of evidence. Because Tron verbatim said this within the fucking recording. Because this nigga wants to derail to a sub-point after he lost this fucking point badly. This fucking retarded piece of shit. Kill yourself, Apollo. Your mom's a dead bitch. Your mom's a dead bitch. So, proof or evidence, right? Let's go to proof. So, a proof can be defined as just an argument that accepts an assertion or a proposition as true. Whether it's a dox-axis justification, it's completely permissible that a dox-axis justification can give credence to accept a proposition or any given conclusion as true, which was what Tron did within this example. Within his dox-axis justification, which Apollo agreed and conceded is a knowledge argument, by the way, is just going to be something that is deductive in nature, which can constitute proof. So he didn't really do anything here. He just blundered and conceded. Apollo's fucking garbage. You said knowledge claim? Yeah, you said knowledge claim. So you said Tron made a knowledge claim, right? Let's go over this slowly for this fucking retard right here in the chat. So he made a knowledge claim that he said that Tron made a knowledge claim, right? And Tron said in the recording, it's okay if I give you a logical proof as to why I believe X is true. Now, the logical proof in question, what Tron utilized, is just going to be an inference or some type of deductive argument. Now, Apollo's initial burden that he has here is to prove that what he claimed is fallacious, which is Tron's dox-axis justification, which entails a deductive argument, which Tron says is an annotated proof, is going to be the same as his definition of what an appeal to belief is, which is something that's fallacious. And his definition, guys, if we go to Apollo's definition of appeal to belief, which is something that is fallacious, which Tron did not argue for, is if someone believes X to be true and X is true, then that's fallacious. Apollo said this verbatim, and I wrote it down multiple times. So, given what I said, Apollo's a fucking dumbass. You fucking suck. You can reply. You're terrible. You're getting fucking lapsed in this argument. That's your definition. Yeah, Apollo, I believe X to be true. That's your definition. That's literally your definition.
You said I can go now? No, shut up. You said I can go now? No, shut the fuck up, retard. Yeah, neither. So, you said my mom's a dead bitch. Dog, your brain is a dead bitch. You can't do shit in this conversation. So we're just going to get back on track with it pretty quickly, pretty easily. So you said that it is the case that, let me just check what you said. You said, I said on the recording, and you've written this down in your, like, you know, check notes or whatever, your diary or whatever. You said, I believe X to be true and X is true. I've written this down several times and it's on recording. Dog, we literally checked all the timestamps you've referenced and no one heard you say this. In fact, you literally say that you can't find the definition of the dox-axis justification, and you also said that it's not your burden to actually find the definition of the dox-axis justification on the recording. But then now you're going to make the claim that you heard my definition for you. Is that like so ironic? Use like two inconsistent stories, dog. So not only is it the case that you have like a mental disability, obviously you're mentally impoverished, but you're also a pathological sociopathic liar. You're lying and sacrificing your moral integrity because you're getting your anus ripped the fuck out in the debate. Okay, so now we're just going to continue with the other point. Now you said specifically that it is the case that I said that he had a knowledge argument session. I said he made a knowledge claim. Not a knowledge argument. A knowledge claim, by the way, by definition, is just a claim which is representative of someone presupposing they have knowledge on the matter. That's what I said, just to clarify that. Also, you misrepresented, as I've said, the thing I've agreed with. I said I was talking about evidence. You said you don't have the question. You're making a claim, dog. I'm not sure if you forgot the whole reason as to why you're in this over that happened like several months ago. I don't know if you remember the motivation. Voice calling me bitching you right now, but what actually caused all of this happening? What's the reason behind this execution of yours right now? Is you making the claim in the chat? I don't know if I should ping it again for the people. You said that you quoted one of my claims, and you said that the dox-axis justification is fallacious. You said that's a blunder. You were criticizing the credibility and the of that claim. You're making it out to be that I made a preposterous comment and blunder when I said that assertion. And then I pressed you on this. I have given the definition of dox-axis justification in this debate. I've told you what I mean by dox-axis justification. You said that what I mean by dox-axis justification is reason for a belief being true. Then after you made this affirmative claim, and I pressed you on this affirmative claim, you ran away from this. You ran away from your burden like a pussy bitch, dog. You said, oh, I don't need to prove anything. I'm just putting things into question. No, dog, you're putting things into question. You're making an affirmative claim. Now, if you're going to say, or if you're going to predicate the presupposition of me losing Sean on the basis of a definition I am presuming in the use of the terminology that's a justification, you would have to prove that I'm using this the way in which you think I'm using it. You have not proved this Everyone in the chat has checked the recording. We have yet to hear you actually prove to. We have yet to actually timestamp where I defined the excessive justification in this manner, right? And so, considering that this conversation is predicated is about whether it is sure that the excessive justification is fallacious, and number two, whether I could see that the Tron insofar as the credibility of the excessive justification is concerned. Considering these two things, and you've yet to prove the last one, which is obviously going to be reasons why I won that point, and I've already elaborated on as to why my definition of the excessive justification, at least in this debate, entails it being fallacious. You have no winning ground here, dog. Without leverage whatsoever. You're just a completely lost pig who's getting dragged in the mud, right? And it's just bad for you, man. Step your game up, retard.
Yo, so Apollo, so you made multiple blunders, and I'm gonna go over all of them. So first off, that definition, what I'm putting into question earlier, even in the chat, is that your definition of something being appeal to belief or fallacious is what Tron committed within the recording, and you gave no evidence for that. Now, you can keep claiming that, oh, we all checked the recording, which you have no proof of that or external validation of that, to see whether or not they said or not. It doesn't matter because I have the recording on OBS saved, and I already went over those points. Now, the knowledge claim point, you still haven't replied to it at all. I'm just getting circular, like completely circular. You still haven't replied to the argument as to why your definition of appeal to belief, which is the main point here, is going to correspond back to the footage and what you're asking for. So what you're asking for in the footage to suffice Tron's burden is his knowledge claim, which would suffice for the DOS access justification, which entails a deductively valid argument, which would convince someone to accept an assertion or a proposition, or any given proposition, as true. And that would suffice his burden, and you put another burden on me to show where he gave evidence or a proposition, but I already showed that in case you. Okay, what did you ask for then?
I asked for two things, and the other thing I've asked for definition.
So the definition. So the reason why I don't need to give your definition, and show why show your definition that you define DOS access justification within the debate, because I'm going off of what you define is a fallacious DOS access justification in text earlier. I've been telling you this for 10 minutes, Apollo. Please fucking track. And I keep quoting your example because your example is the only definition you gave for an appeal to belief, which is fallacious, which you claimed that Tron did because you claimed that his DOS access justification, giving off your agreements within the recording that I fucking showed. I'll show it again, bro.
حالتك صعيبة يا شيري والله لا حالتك صعيبة مزيان انت.
But let's just go to the evidence point, because that's the sub point. The sub point is the evidence for the claim, but you asked for a DOS access justification, and the DOS access justification, Tron just replies and says that the argument within the DOS access justification is going to suffice as some sort of evidence to accept a assertion as true. But that's the sub point. The main point here is the burden that I have is whether or not your definition of an appeal to belief is going to be what Tron committed within the argumentation that he provided within the video, which he did.
Are y'all still debating, bro?
Going based off how I define DOS access justification text. No, I'm going off of what you define. Not just that, but what you define in your example you gave within the VC, which in a fallacious DOS access justification is just going to be, if someone says, when I quoted it, I fucking forgot that shit because all that, is this. Boom. You said that in the VC, I have it on recording, I've been recording with OBS, you getting intellectually lapsed in this conversation. So what's in question right now is this being his type of DOS access justification that he provided in the video, which would be the sufficient condition for him committing a quote-unquote appeal to belief, which is under your definition. So you're retarded. Prove I said this.
Yeah, it's my turn to speak now.
Okay, so...
Yeah, it's my turn to speak now. It's my turn to speak now.
No, you give me a burden. You give me a burden, so I'm going to suffice my burden.
No, stop talking. So, are we going to mute Mr. Pig? It's my turn to speak now.
That's your example of a DOS access justification.
You're responsible for what I'm saying in text. You're done speaking. You're done speaking. Moderator, let's mute Mr. Pig. Let's get the conversation rolling.
We don't have that.
Let's get the conversation rolling. Let's have a unbiased, moderated conversation where he gets muted when it's my turn to speak. So he's not going to mute?
Apollo.
He's not going to get muted?
Apollo, I'm not going to get muted, Apollo.
Crazy.
I'm not going to
So anyway,
Apollo, how are you gonna tell me to? How are you
Anyway, I'm
gonna
just
tell me
going to
to
continue
prove
speaking
something
over
and
you
then try
because
to
it's my
speak
turn
over
to
me when I'm
speak. I
trying
don't
to
know what
prove
you're
the thing you're
saying.
asking me to prove?
Okay, so just to clarify a couple of things, you have said that you're going based off the definition of doxastic justification that I was using in the chat, which my definition of doxastic justification in the chat and in this voice call is literally me talking about the idea. And I don't know why you think you yapping over me in the background is going to give you the rhetorical leverage. So again, my definition of doxastic justification in the chat and in this voice call in this debate is me saying it's the type of justification which is indexed to one's belief attitudes. And I've given examples of this. I've given 2 examples of this. One being an appeal to consensus, and one being an appeal to one's own personal individual belief.
You gave me examples of those, right? But you also gave me an example
I've
of a
said that given
fallacious
these
appeal to
2
belief.
examples,
What you said is someone believes X to be true and X is true, then it's fallacious. You said that verbatim on the recording. That's an example of appeal to belief. And I said, how is that going to be?
Also,
you
I don't
agree
know why
that appeal to belief is going to be something that is fallacious. Now, whether or not Tron committed that type of appeal to belief within the argumentation, within the video, that type of justification is what I was initially putting into question in the VC.
Why are you speaking over me? I'm not giving you the permission yet. Don't get a belt on you, Chimp.
Yo, can you niggas like actually be rhetorical and like just talk out one at a time? Like, please, bro.
So Godwin. So yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it's my turn to speak. Why is he still unmuted?
Because you told me to prove a burden. I'm unmuted because you told me to prove a burden and then you initially start talking over me, bro.
Dog, what are you talking about?
You told me to prove a burden and then you start talking over me.
I said specifically to prove it when I was in text. I was gonna respond.
So I'm gonna prove
it.
So before you started speaking, I said I was gonna prove it.
What are you talking about, Mr.
So before you said that in the chat, when you said that in the chat, I said I'm gonna go ahead and prove that, and then you piped up and started trying to talk over me, Apollo.
It's literally a part of my response.
It's not your turn to speak, so I'm just gonna continue to talk over you because
what are you talking about, dog? Stop talking over me.
Now,
stop talking over me.
Stop
talking over me. Okay. So, anyways,
let's justify
let's respond to the points you're making. Okay.
It's gonna be
you have to prove that
this is fallacious. What you verbatim said, if someone believes X to be true,
if someone believes X to be true,
and it's true, then it's fallacious. But there's no evidence of that being the case. Transactional justification in the recording is just gonna consist of deductively valid argumentation, which gives a motivation to set an assertion as true, which can be defined as evidence what you're asking for. Hence, you lost the point. You have no response to that. I don't have a burden to show your definition during the dialogue because it's irrelevant to this dialogue, which you define as an appeal to the definitions. An appeal to belief. So you're not giving any motivation to believe.
Your own claim is irrelevant? Your own claim is irrelevant? You look like trash right now, dog. What are you doing? It's like a horrible performance, buddy. So again, you said that my definition of doxastic justification is, someone
fallacious doxastic. Okay, so he's not even tracking. So I'm saying his definition of a fallacious doxastic justification, which is gonna be the example that I keep giving this nigga. If someone believes X to be true and X is true, then it's fallacious. That's the type of doxastic justification which Apollo was talking about, which is a fallacious example of an appeal to belief, which he said is doxastic justification is fallacious.
Where's the solid evidence?
What I was putting into question was whether or not the argument Tron made in the video is going to be that type of fallacious doxastic justification.
What's going on?
Justify Tron committing that type of doxastic justification, which is going to be fallacious. So if you didn't,
are you getting nervous right now? Are you nervous?
You're terrible. You're doing bad.
I'm telling you, you're doing stuttering, dog. You can't even speak properly. You have trash rhetoric. It's not as good as mine.
I have such bad rhetoric. You're just not contending to anything. My rhetoric is so ass. You're not able to contend to anything. I can say some whole bunch of bullshit. I can say a whole bunch of gibberish and just straight gibberish, and you won't be able to track it or attack it because you fucking suck. That's why you lost to Archie.
It's like that, dog. You're not built like that.
I can say gibberish and you won't be able to attack it.
So again, just prove a claim.
Your mom's dead.
Prove a claim. Clarence.
Okay, what claim do you want me to prove? What claim do you want me to prove?
You forgot the claim I wanted to prove already?
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the claim that you told me to prove in the chat? And when I was trying to prove the claim, you started talking over me, you stupid bitch? Are you talking about that claim?
I'm going to remind you of the claim.
You're a retard, Apollo.
I'm going to remind you of the claim.
You're specifically talking about the claim you told me to prove and you started talking over me, you stupid bitch. You're retarded.
Since you already forgot the claim I wanted to prove, I'm going to remind you.
It's just not it.
The claim I want to prove, you like you thunderhead, is the claim that, and why are you speaking over me when you want me to?
Okay, who forgot the claim?
Oh yeah, shut up, retard. Usually when you ask someone for a correction, you don't speak over the person because guess what?
Yo, Apollo, the main character, the tracking demon, the best in the com, bro. The best in the com.
Claim I want you to prove. Okay, so you remember now?
The best in the com, Apollo.
Would be defined doxastic justification in that manner. Go ahead.
So, second.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're so ass. So Apollo, I never said that you define a dissecting justification in that manner, you dumb fuck retard. I said you define an appeal to belief, something that's fallacious in that manner, and what's in question or not is that appeal to belief, which you said is some sort of dissecting justification, is this going to be fallacious within the fucking recording?
The perspective of my definition of excessive justification.
So Apollo, did you just hear anything I just said?
You're lost in the sauce, dog. You're
Apollo,
lost in the sauce.
did you hear anything I said?
You're actually lost in the sauce.
So let's ask MTF later, because obviously he's better than you. What did I just say?
Oh, he's calling for outside help now because.
No, I'm not calling for outside help. Can you repeat what I just told you, Apollo? Because you're losing the point.
This is embarrassing.
Yo, Mr. Pig, my bad. Like, I wasn't like low key tracking like for a little bit,
Okay,
so
it's
I
fine.
couldn't like actually tell like what you said because I was doing something else.
Okay, it's fine. So basically, this stupid idiot Apollo, you dumb idiot, you retard, you dumb retard. I'm gonna repeat this again. I don't have that burden because I never said that you define the dissecting justification in that manner. I said you define an appeal to belief, which is fallacious in that manner, you fucking idiot, you dumb fuck moron. Not that I have the burden to prove that you define dissecting justification in that manner. That's an example of something that's fallacious and appeal to belief that which you define in that manner. You fucking retard, you're not rhetorical.
Maybe you have to just break this down to your kindergarten level because you just don't have the IQ relevant to actually.
You listen to a kindergartner. You listen to a kindergartner.
I'm just gonna make it clear like this. I'm gonna make this clear and concise, okay? I just want you to get a recording clip which demonstrates me saying what you said I said. Do that.
I think I already proved it. Can we conclude?
Unlock? Prove you've already done this.
I said I think we can. Can we conclude? We can conclude, man. We can conclude. Okay, Apollo. So I'm gonna go back in the recording. It's gonna take a long ass time.
You think that you've already proven it?
Okay, Apollo. I'm gonna go back in the recording and I'm gonna get the recording, bro. I'm gonna get the recording for you, okay?
Prove that you think it.
Okay, Apollo, Daddy, possibly Daddy. Apollo, Daddy. Do you think I'm stuttering that bad?
Stuttering, dog.
Wait. Am I stuttering that bad? Am I stuttering that bad?
Every single time I ask.
Wait. I'm not asking you, Apollo, because your mom is dead. Am I stuttering that bad?
Just keep on playing dodgeball with me, dog. Just keep on dodging.
Okay. So Apollo, when I get this recording, can you chill out? So when I get this recording that shows that you define a appeal to belief fallacy in that manner and that it doesn't correspond to the footage and the logical arguments that Tron provided, are you gonna
So you
concede?
can't prove it right now.
No, I said I said when I do it. So I'm gonna do it, but I just want to condition real quick. Apollo, I just want to condition real quick, okay? So when I show the footage of you defining an appeal to belief fallacy in that manner and saying that it is a dissecting justification, are you gonna concede? Because you literally just made it. As you can see, I'm recording on OBS on my screen share. So if I did that, will you concede?
Right now. Yeah, drop your point. Yeah, drop.
Oh wait. So you will concede when I show you that? Bad. Okay. Jesus Christ.
As if they're gonna show me it.
Apollo, this is not good.
What am I asking for? Tell me.
Okay, Apollo.
Do you even remember what I'm asking to demonstrate?
Yeah. So you asked me to show what you said, what I said, which is that you define a type of appeal to belief fallacy as if someone believes X to be true, and X is true, then it's fallacious. We both hold the mutual agreement that that is an example of fallacious dissecting justification. We both agree with that. Now, whether or not Tron committed that type of dissecting justification, which you gave given the logical structure of the proposition, that's the question right now. Because in the recording, Tron never made that argument, that type of appeal to belief, you fucking retard.
And the manner that you used to define it as. That's what I'm asking for.
So Apollo, just to be clear, did you hear anything I just said?
In grade 8.
Just to be clear.
Oh, it's not hard. It's not
right.
difficult.
Okay. So Akira, thank you, Akira. So this is the type of dissecting justification. That's a fallacy, right? Do you agree with this? This is fallacious, right?
We're waiting for the evidence for me presenting the dissecting justification.
This is evidence. This is literally evidence.
You must prove that I define dissecting justification as merely if someone
I never said that. Okay, MTF reader, I keep telling this nigga Apollo that I never said that he defined dissecting justification as that way. I said he defined dissecting justification, appeal to belief that way, as in if I say something is true because I believe in it. That's a fallacy, right? Apollo, you can agree for that, right? Apollo, you can agree for that, right? You fucking retard. Apollo, you can agree to this. So let's look what your fan said.
I never agree
Check
that
chat.
I defined it in the way that you said I defined it in the chat.
Okay, you can think that, you fucking retard. Hey, listen, Apollo. Check the chat. Apollo, check the chat, you fucking moron. Let's go off your example of the fallacious appeal to definitions, right?
Let's go off this example. We're talking about an appeal to belief.
Yeah, appeal to belief, right? And you earlier you said the appeal to belief is just going to be a type of doxastic justification via.
No shit, Sherlock. Now that how is
Okay. Okay, so you can see to that, right? You agree to that. Now, what I put into question, right, is that type of appeal to belief, which is doxastic justification, which you just agreed with and conceded to, is what Tron committed within the video. Here we go. Concession.
What's the evidence of that claim? This is the concession. What are you talking about?
Okay, Apollo. Okay, so this type of appeal to belief, which you just agreed is a doxastic justification. This type of appeal to belief is going to be fallacious. Now, what I put into question is whether or not that type of fallacious reasoning is what Tron utilized within his doxastic justification within the video, which grants him the win over you in that argument. You fucking
What's the
retard.
evidence for that claim?
So,
You're lost.
Akira.
You're stunlocked. Let me give you
Hold
one
on.
time.
I'm not stunlocked. I'm just not paying attention to you.
Specifically, what's the evidence for me defining appeal to belief fallacy or doxastic justification in the manner you have defined it as in the chat, which is if someone believes that to be true, and it is true. Tell me that right now.
Listen. Okay, you just agreed, but you said. Okay, so let's go off your linguistical clues. So after we analyze this screenshot of you literally agreeing with that, then we can go after the recording where you literally emphasize that in the VC to everyone here. So I said you blundered and because you said doxastic justification by fallacious. You said how's that a blunder? And even your example for that is if I say something is true because I believe in it, that's a fallacy. So that's going to be an appeal to definitions, and you agree that's just going to be a doxastic justification or some type of doxastic justification. Now, what I was putting into question is whether or not Tron committed that type of doxastic justification, which is fallacious, within the recording, which he gave an inference for his argument taken to find his doxastic justification. What was your question at that point is whether or not that type of reasoning is going to be the same as the appeal to definitions and appeal to belief and the definition of that which you gave in the chat. You retard.
You retard. So are we going to prove the claim now?
Yes, I already proved it. So I already proved it.
Now this is schizophrenic meltdown came to an end. Prove your claim.
Apollo, is this bit good?
That's not proof, by the way. Calling my name is not proof. We're waiting.
Apollo, is this good?
We're waiting.
Is it, like, bro,
Sonny boy, we're waiting. We're waiting, son. Prove the claim. We're waiting. Don't embarrass me in the photo.
So what do you want me to prove again, which I literally just proved?
I'm in the line right now. What are you doing?
So, Apollo, what do you want me to prove I literally just proved?
You didn't prove it. All you said is, I specifically talked about appeal to belief fallacy being the type of doxastic justification. That is not the disagreement we have. The disagreement we have right now
is
appeal to belief fallacy and doxastic justification as the idea is if someone believes something to be true and it is.
So, no. Apollo, I think you're terribly confused. I'm saying that your appeal to belief, and you agree to this, your definition of appeal to belief is if I say something that is true because I believe in it, or if X is true, and because I believe X is true, that can be appeal to belief, but even going off of your linguistics and logical argument that you provided, or your definition for a doxastic justification, you said it's going to fulfill that type of justification, or that definition for appeal to belief. Now, you fucking retard, whether or not that type of appeal to belief is what Tron used in the video, which I was putting to question, is what's in question, you fucking retard.
You said that what you said in chat satisfies my definition of the claim.
When did I say that? Can you prove that?
You said it a while ago.
Yeah, can you prove that?
Because of the fact that you said that I defined doxastic justification and appeal to belief fallacy as just the idea if someone believes to be and it is true.
So what did I say that?
That means you believe that satisfies the condition of my definition. Are you retarded?
Okay, so how's that my argument?
You did not know this claim? Are you dropping this claim?
Oh shit! Dropping the claim. So I'm not dropping any claim. I'm not dropping any claim. I'm just trying to figure out how you're responding to my point, because you're not responding to my point.
The old points, that's the main motivator.
The main motivator. Like, you're stumbling over yourself, and you're talking about me stumbling over myself, right? Like, you're stumbling over yourself. So you can't talk about someone stuttering when you're also stuttering within the conversation. It's not really rhetorical. It's not really rhetorical, Apollo.
Holy shit! And now you're crying about this not being retarded because
But what are you talking about, bro?
You're just so insecure to the point you feel the need to say it's not rhetorical, dog. So, anyways, give a response. Actually, no. Forget giving a response. Just concede it.
Do you think you're rhetorical? So what's the concession here? What's the
The
concession?
concession is you literally questioning the claim that you believe it was that is my definition.
Okay, so your definition. So no, I never dropped that claim. I made it clear that I didn't drop any claims. So your definition of period beliefs, there's evidence for it in the fucking chat, which your own dick writer sent you, is if I say X is true because I believe in it. And that's a fallacy. And that fallacy in question being in the period of belief fallacy, no? So you're fucking retarded. Secondly,
Mr. Pig,
the verbal concession,
the verbal concession,
hold on, because the verbal concession is on a recording. So let's check the recording. Look at the screenshot. Let's look at the verbal concession now.
Epistemic claims just to question the epistemological foundation of your own claim. You dumb retard.
So,
what are you doing?
So are you retarded?
Are you okay?
So nowhere in this recording, nowhere in this dialogue did I question my epistemological foundations for my claim. Are you fucking stupid?
I repeat your own claim in the entailment of.
So you want to know what I said in that?
You are retarded. You are actually you're actually retarded.
Apollo,
no offense
Apollo,
to
you
you,
want Apollo
for the sake of rhetorical jabs, but this time when I'm calling you retarded, I genuinely mean that
Apollo.
Like, no offense.
This is not rhetorical.
You just literally placed into question an entailment of your own claim, which automatically verifies that
so what question you tell me my own claim? Guys, let's press him on this.
That is so humiliating, dog. Holy shit. What are you doing, bro?
Apollo. Everyone in VC, let's ask Apollo what I put into question of my own claim. Did I not just affirm that I'm not dropping any claims, like, right after you said that?
You affirming this does not make it correct, by the way.
Okay, and you claiming that I did that does not mean I did that. Fucking retard.
Except by giving evidence for why you did it. And you conceded this.
It's so retarded. Yo, Akira.
What are you talking about? I have given evidence for why you made this claim and you conceded that.
Okay, so let's go over the verbal concession that you made. Okay, Apollo, so let's go over what you conceded. So Apollo,
yes or no? Isn't the case?
Okay, so Apollo, it's not a concession. It's not a concession.
Don't run away. Don't sprint away.
It's not a concession.
Isn't the case that you believe that my definition of an appeal to belief fallacy and or dogmatic justification is that if someone believes X to be true and it is true?
Oh my God, you're a tracking demon. So
yes, I'm gonna regurgitate this. Yes, you know. Answer my question.
Can I answer the question?
Yes or no?
Apollo,
yes or no?
Can I answer the question?
If it is a yes, then you can speak. If it is a no,
answer the question? I'm just gonna talk over you. I don't really give a fuck. So I reply to this. This is your question hinges on a misrepresentation of what I was actually saying.
Okay?
You fucking idiot. I'm saying that you made a claim that an appeal to belief is a type of dogmatic justification. The example you gave is if I say something is true because I believe in it, that's a fallacy. So that's gonna be an appeal to belief fallacy. But you also said that's gonna be a dogmatic justification. That fallacious reasoning is gonna be dogmatic justification as well. So you said that in the chat. So let's go off the recording now. We can go on the recording because I'm actually going to show you now instead of just yapping about what you said in the chat.
You're going to record this.
Yeah, so let's go. Yeah, so you gave me an example of appeal to definitions. Appeal to belief, which you said is a dogmatic justification. And you said exactly what I said, and I wrote it down exactly as you said it. So let's go in the recording now. I'm going to screen share. I'm done yapping. Like, this nigga's just ass. Like, there's no way people think he's good.
He even thinks I'm the best, bro. I have like a huge fan base. No one knows war, and everyone thinks you're gonna destroy them this way, right?
Not everyone. Not everyone.
Everyone thinks that. Do you think people trolling is actually indicative of them actually believing well, right? And they actually believe this? You're so retarded. They're actually so socially inept.
Not everyone thinks they're winning.
You are trolling me, dog.
You're trolling now? You're trolling?
Someone sees a guy named Mr. Pig. Mr. Pig the Pounder debating Apollo, who's an actual known, relevant top 2 debater, and they're saying you're winning, and they're even carrying to. They're obviously trolling you, dog.
Because listen, Mr. Pig. Mr. Pig is the best, Apollo.
You're actually retarded.
Apollo, you're no longer the main character.
Just want to prove your claim, bro. Prove your claim, bro. We're waiting.
Okay, Apollo. Okay, I got you, bro. Jesus Christ. So everyone, if it's the case that Apollo affirmed that an appeal to belief is just going to be some type of dogmatic justification, And it's just gonna be what he said. Like I keep quoting it because he literally said that verbatim.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Shut up, bitch! Shut up! Shut up!
You're
Shut
retarded.
up!
Don't call me bitch, and I'm the one treating you like a bitch right now.
No, you're
okay?
not, bitch. No, you're not.
Oh, look, I'm saying specifically, what I'm talking about here is not whether I believe that that's a justification and appeal to belief fallacy are coextensive. I'm not talking about whether I believe fallacy is a type of excessive justification. I'm talking about you making the claim that I said an appeal to belief fallacy is the idea of someone believing something to be true and it being true. That's what I'm asking for, the evidence.
Oh,
now you remember.
You're a fucking retard, Apollo. You're fucking retarded. You're not rhetorical at all. Oh my god, Lord have mercy. Okay, let's go on the recording.
Lord have mercy on your stupidity, dog.
Okay, so Apollo, so before I show the recording, because I'm gonna look for it. If you did say that, given your example, are you gonna concede? Are you gonna concede? I have no confidence in my tone. Are you gonna concede?
You ask him if I'm going to concede is not proof for a claim.
Okay, I know, but when I show the claim, when I show the proof, I'm going to concede because he...
Prove the claim.
All right, Apollo.
When you show the clip and you show the clip, it's different.
Look at my screen share, buddy. Look at my screen share. Everyone just mute up.
Not tracking. I'm already on the screen share.
Okay, everyone just mute up and let's show the...
A loud mic on or something? Or just a voice changer? It is relevant if you have a loud mic on. Sure. I'm just asking. Got you.
Oh, it's fucking flickering, bruh.
What do I mean by the excessive justification? No, we never went over the definition. Answer my question. What do I mean by the excessive justification? Could you define to me my definition of the excessive justification and stop dodging? Please stop evading. Stop prevaricating. Address my question. Stop prevaricating. Address my question. You're presupposing that my definition, you're presupposing knowledge of my definition to even make the knowledge claim that it is a false claim considered excessive. Wait, stop stuttering. And excuses, Tim. Stop with this proof that it's you're actually not tracking. You're the only one not tracking. You're actually in your own schizophrenic meltdown right now. So you wouldn't understand the claim. How do you know this? Do you know my claim is false? Yes, no, we concluded. Is it true or is it false? Pick one. Make her mind. Make her mind. Is it true? Oh, you just confirmed it to everyone who is listening. Why are you telling me that? Who cares if I'm the main character now? Responsible? Yes or no?
Yeah, Apollo, that's because I have a sub audio that only hears your voice, so I can go back on what points you made. That's why you look good. Okay, I think this is a definition part. Hold on. Hold on, let me go to the other recording real quick, because it's earlier in the recording. This is why I hate looking for shit, Apollo. You're a fag. Jesus Christ. have to scroll all the way fucking up and then. So fucking.
You want to just conclude because Godlin, are you still recording on OBS?
You said what?
No, I'm asking Godlin if you're recording on OBS. Still
Bro,
recording?
I've been
Wait,
recording
Godwin, when did you
for
come
like
here?
1 hour and 20 minutes by now.
Okay.
Okay, got you. I'm saying to Mr. Pig, we can like conclude or something.
Okay, give me after I show this shit, then we can just move on.
Yo, aren't y'all debating on a 1-year-old recording?
Yeah, I wanted to troll and disengage for fun. Give me a sec. Look, Apollo, look, bro. Look at how many. Yeah, look at how many fucking wrecks are in here, bro. Look. Are you looking at my screen share? But yeah.
No, it's tied with someone in chat.
Alright. Give me a second. Fucking. Okay.
This guy's like actually retarded. Like I'm asking him to prove a claim. He's like, oh, I don't need to prove. Who asked?
Is that Monkey? Who is that? Whatever.
Yo, Sigma, nigga, turn that shit on, you're not loud, nigga!
Yo, wait, chill. Yeah, Mr. Pig is taking too long. I just want to conclude. Like the guy already got them all.
What was it about?
It was about a
like,
1-year-old ass
conceptual analysis of
recording, bro. That shit was fucking
classification.
365 days old, and they started debating on that 365 days later.
Yo, Godlin, when you are finished recording, just send me the recording.
Alright.
I'll upload it to my channel.
I need to set up my OBS currently though, because like I'm fucking retarded.
This guy likes taking so long.
Yes.